Okay, so today we're going to be talking about some of the rellgames community suggestions in the suggestions channel in their Discord server. And we're going to be answering the question, will the rellgames community ruin rellgames? Let's get into it. Okay, so the first one that we're reviewing is actually one of my favorite ideas and the one that I fought with the most, which is a newspaper system. Now, this was actually suggested by a user by the name of Olusegundu. My bad if I messed up your name, bro, but this guy basically gave the suggestion, and judging by the likes, I think the community really messes with this idea. So let's get to reading it. I think the best way to do bounties in this game is not killing bosses or players to get bounty, maybe quests, but instead of that, players should be doing things that show that you're a big threat to the world government, or small things like beating up people in a town. AI can give you bounty, but taking down a Yonko, killing famous people, joining crews and stuff like that will get you high bounties, which can be decided by real marine players who do not have the authority to lower a person's bounty. Making high bounties actually mean you're a threat. Another thing is that newspapers should come once a week, like Shindo Life 2 updates popping up for every player to see what big thing is going on, which should be controlled by players who pick the best scoop of players to enjoy once a week. Lastly, it should also come once a week alongside bounty posters revealing new bounties. Lastly, remember to make it so there's a chance your bounty flyer can fly across you while you're on your ship and see, like when Luffy thought his bounty decreased. Questions down below. So basically what this means is he's saying that they should make it like there will be pirates and marines, so like marine players and pirate players, and actual marine players will be able to set your bounty through a newspaper system, right? So if they add like news, like let's say you do some like horrible shit, right? Like you just go like kill a lot of crews and like you just become famous and shit, and they'll like display your name and they'll give you a high bounty like in the actual show. Or if you're like well known for doing like, I guess like raids, I don't know if there's gonna be like raiding in the game or if there's gonna be any of that, but basically if you do like some horrible shit as a pirate, I'd imagine, and you become well known, marine players can assign you a bounty. And then what he's saying with the newspaper shit is every time you log into the game, you'll see like a newspaper update and it'll have your name on it. It's kind of like a leaderboard thing, to be honest, except it's like for bounties, and it's like showing what a terrible person you are. Now moving on to the next suggestion, we got players spawning on different islands instead of spawning on one big starter island. Now the post says most games have an island where everyone spawns, which is something I always hated, but this would be great for immersion into the world of rellgames. Now I have a few things that I actually want to add to this idea. I think spawning into like, let's say, a different island as a starter should be based on your race. Let me tell you why. I think that if you pick, let's say, a fishman, for example, you should spawn on Fishman Island, right? Or if you pick a Skypean, you should spawn somewhere in the Sky Islands, right? Same as in Mink race, if you pick Mink, you should spawn on Zunisha, and so on and so forth. If you pick human, you should spawn on a regular island, one of the, I guess, pirate islands or a marine island. Now they could play around with this, like they could add clans into the game that determine where you spawn. Like for example, if they made like the Kozuki clan, you spawn in the land of Wano, and now you're like special because you're from Wano, because Wano is like a country in One Piece that's bordered off and closed off from the rest of the world, right? Or if you're like, let's say if they add the D clan, you're from the ancient kingdom, but I don't know how they would do that because that's not a thing anymore. So anyways, the third and final suggestion we're going to be looking at is the addition of Vivre cards, which I actually really like, and I actually really like what this user said in this post. So let's get to reading it. It says, Vivre card, it can be done with the consent of the person whose Vivre card you are taking. You send a request for the Vivre card and the person approves it, and then you will need to go to a specific place on every island where Vivre cards are made. You talk to the NPC that makes the Vivre card, and then you will have a menu with options. On a box there will be names of people who have already approved their Vivre card for you. To craft the Vivre card, you will need not only a good amount of belly, but also some specific items. It will show an arrow where the object is. If the owner of the Vivre card is in danger, let's say 20% HP and below, the Vivre card will burn slowly and the arrow will twitch to the sides. I think this is an important part of One Piece, like Vivre card could make rellgames RLCs even better. It is about creativity. I know Rell brothers are cooking, but still Vivre can make the GPS system even bigger. This is really cool because not only could this be a good way to track your friends and see where they are at all times without making the game too unrealistic or without breaking the immersion of the game, it can also be used to check the health of your friends to see if they're in need of help or something. Anyways, I just wanted to hop on real quick, you know what I'm saying, give my thoughts on these suggestions. If you guys have any suggestions of your own, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I want to hear them. I want to read them. Perhaps I'll make a video on you guys' suggestions one day. So yeah, make sure to leave a comment down below with your suggestions for the game. I will read them. And if you want to know why this brand new One Piece game will actually kill rellgames, click right here.